Okay, so they're mentioning that some people feel like a girl, some people feel like a boy, and some people don't feel like either. We should give this book to the transphobes that have such a hard time understanding these identities because they break it down very, very nicely. Hi everyone, it is Samantha Lux. Welcome back to my channel. I'm feeling very, very festive today. I have the red lights and everything. I have some white makeup. I don't know why white eyeliner and red lights just make me feel very festive, but it's doing it for me today. So happy holiday season, everybody. My favorite thing on this channel is when I get to laugh at some crazy things that transphobes are getting upset about. They just have such a way of going about things and saying things that it's just so funny to me. They get me every time, I don't know. And for today's video, the comments are on a very, very fun topic, American Girl doll. I never had an American Girl doll. I don't even think I wanted one, even if I was born a girl. I don't think I would have wanted one. They kind of creep me out. Wait, or am I thinking of Cabbage Patch Kids? Because those were creepy too, right? One of those were creep, or maybe both. I think they have something about their faces. I don't know. American Girl doll is inclusive. They have a cute little book and the transphobes aren't happy about it. They don't like the book. For today's video, we're going to talk a little bit about the American Girl doll book because it's so cute, duh. But mostly we are going to be reacting to some of these transphobic comments about the American Girl doll book because that's the funny part. I post new videos twice a week here on my channel, so if you guys are not yet subscribed, go ahead and do that right now. Go ahead. I'll wait for you. It's Christmas time, so subscribe to me. It'll be my present. Thank you. Are you done? Thank you very much. Make sure to follow me over on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all those different places to keep us up to date with me as possible. And yeah, with no further ado, let me get my reading glasses out and let's get into this American Girl doll book. Now, actually, before we get started on the cute little American Girl doll book, we're going to dive into this article that sparked it all. This TMZ article that is titled American Girl Doubles Down on Kid Book About Gender Transition Despite Backlash. That's bold, girl. They're bold. The American Girl doll brand is standing its ground after getting a ton of backlash for a book that encourages young girls to explore their identity and offers info about transitioning. Now, to me, that sounds cute, right? This was still my moment when I was like, American Girl doll has books? Since when? So to get into the little book, I first of all want to preface and say that this is not the first book American Girl doll has written. Imagine their first book. They get backlash for being like trans accepting. It's like their first one ever. They're like, we're never writing a book again. Screw it. We're done. No, they have tons of books. I'm looking on their website right now. I see like at least like 20. I can't really count though, so I don't know. The series is called A Smart Girl's Guide. And the books are things like the Tough Stuff book, Race and Inclusion book. Oh my god, we stand that. I'm surprised the transphobe community isn't upset about that, but I mean, I guess it's a different, a different sphere. They have books about navigating crushes. They have books about making a difference. They have books about learning to like yourself. They have tons and tons of different books for young girls. I believe the targeted age demographic is around 11 to 12 years old. But the book that people are upset about, the book that caused this whole storm for American Girl doll, is their newest edition of the Smart Girl's Guide titled Body Image Book. Okay, yep, I understand. That's making me mad already. I'm just like, what? Now, I personally do not own a copy of this book. I think it's a little bit out of my age range, but I did get a sneak peek into some of the pages of the book, specifically the few that talk about being trans. So there's 3 pages that talk about gender. We'll get into the one that talks about trans people in a second, but the first one talks about gender joy and says, messages about how bodies should look are different depending on a person's gender. Girls tend to face more pressure to have thin bodies and long hair and wear clothes like skirts, dresses, and blouses. Boys tend to feel more pressure to have a muscular body, keep their hair short, and wear pants and shorts. Luckily, it's not your job to look the way people expect. It's your job to be you. Now, that's cute. To be fair, I haven't heard anybody really complaining about this. I think that this is something that the majority of people agree on now. I mean, I guess actually that's not true at all. That was me being a little hopeful. That's not true at all. Harry Styles wore a dress and the whole world freaked out. But this part isn't too extreme, right? Hopefully. It then says the way you show your gender to the world through clothes and behaviors is your gender expression. Your gender expression can be feminine, masculine, or somewhere in between, and it might change. Maybe you'll experiment with bright dresses and long feminine hairstyles, or you might try baggy shorts, plaid shirts, and a buzzed haircut. Your gender expression should make you feel at home in your body. So again, it's just teaching kids that just because there are these pressures to look a certain way and act a certain way, that doesn't mean that's how you have to behave. That doesn't mean that that is the only way to be, you. Now, if you don't teach your kids these lessons, I feel like, to be honest, you're a bad parent. Kids should be allowed the opportunity to express themselves, to do what makes them happy, to wear the clothes that they feel comfortable in. Just like, why not? Because real boys wear pants. Says you, Martha. That's it for the first page on gender in the American Girl doll book. I think this one was pretty tame. Pretty tame, right? Let's go to the next page. Now we see a trans flag. It's getting serious. It's getting deep now. It's getting real. It says, while gender expression is what you show on the outside, gender identity is how you feel on the inside. A girl, a boy, or someone who doesn't quite fit into either category. Okay, so they're mentioning that some people feel like a girl, some people feel like a boy, and some people don't feel like either. They're saying that some people, you know, are non-binary and very easy to understand terms. We should give this book to the transphobes that have such a hard time understanding these identities because they break it down very, very nicely. When a baby is born, a doctor looks at the baby's body parts to assign its sex, whether the baby is female or male. Most kids grow up feeling comfortable in the sex the doctor assigned. This kind of person is cisgender. We really need to like print this out and send it to like and like his cut his name out, blur his name out. We're not giving him any nothing. But for some, that sex doesn't match who they know they are inside. A kid who is assigned male might know herself to be a girl inside. Oh my God, that's like me. Aww. Someone whose gender is different than the sex they were assigned at birth is transgender. Some people don't feel like a girl or a boy inside, which is totally okay. People in this group are usually called non-binary and might use a pronoun like they instead of he or she. This is like so cute. Whoever wrote this, bravo. You're good at making things very easy to understand, very kid-friendly. I already know what the people are gonna say, what the transphobes are gonna say. Oh, you're sexualizing the kids. You are making everything sexual and they're 10 and 11. None of this has been sexual. Okay, so that was the second page, a little bit more risque. Like I said, you know, they have the she, her, hers button. They have the, you know, the trans flag and everything. I can feel the transphobes getting angry. Okay, let's go to the final page. Now, this is the page that people were pissed about. It says, being transgender is not an illness or something to be ashamed of. If you're questioning your gender identity, or if you already know for sure that you're trans or non-binary, talk with an adult you trust, like a parent or school counselor. Okay, I'm gonna stop for a second. This all seems pretty good to me. Telling kids that, you know, whoever they are, they shouldn't be ashamed of it. I feel like that's never a bad thing. Give me one example of that being a bad thing. Actually, don't give me an example. I can think of like a couple, but we don't need to go there. That's not what we're talking about. And it's also encouraging those young kids that if they're having thoughts that they might be trans or, you know, they're questioning their gender, to talk to somebody that they trust, to talk to somebody that they feel safe with, like their parents or their doctor or a school counselor. It says that person can connect you with a specially trained doctor who can help you and your family decide what's best for your body. At first, you and the doctor might talk about wearing the clothes and using the pronouns like he, she, or they that make you feel like the most true you. I feel like a little bit of context is important here. These books are made for girls who are coming of age, if you will. They're starting to go through puberty, their bodies are starting to change, and a lot of the times they don't know what that means. You know, I never went through puberty as a girl. I mean, a natural girl puberty I never went through. I went through an artificial one. I went through 2 puberties. Not fun. Don't recommend it. But talking about these bodily changes and going to see the doctor and how to keep yourself clean and how to take care of yourself are things that these books don't shy away from. So them talking about going to the doctor and talking to your doctor about what's best for your body is not something that they are doing just for, you know, the trans section. It's something that they do for everybody. They say if this is happening to your body, then, you know, you're gonna want to go to this doctor and talk to them. You're gonna want to talk to your parent, whatever. The goal of these books is largely to teach these young girls or these young kids that those uncomfortable things that they might not necessarily feel comfortable just coming out and asking right away. They might want to read a little bit about it first or something. It says if you haven't gone through puberty yet, the doctor might offer medicine to delay your body's changes, giving you more time to think about your gender identity. And if you've already gone through puberty, a doctor can still help. Studies show that transgender and non-binary kids who get help from doctors have much better mental health than those who don't. And that's a fact. Like I said, these books are for kids who are trying to get more information on why certain things are happening to their bodies, stuff like that. And sometimes this might be distressing. This might cause some anxiety. I know, God forbid. I know, nobody believes that these young kids can have anxiety, but they get anxious too. I'm just kidding, but to me, when I read this, it comes off with a very comforting tone. It's saying if you're feeling this type of way, there are options for you. You know, there is help available, which is is great because being trans is a very, very lonely, it's a very scary experience, especially when you're young and don't have all the information on what it might mean or where to go or anything like that. So imagine you're reading your American Girl doll book and you come across this page that's like, oh, if you are having these thoughts, don't worry, it's gonna be okay. You can talk to your doctor about it. I don't know, I feel like that could help someone. I feel like that could be beneficial. That's just my opinion. If you don't have an adult you trust, there are organizations across the country that can help you. Turn to the resources page on 95 for more information. Okay, I can hear it now. People saying they're encouraging you to keep things from your parents. They're encouraging you to not talk to your parents, blah, blah, blah. Listen, this book literally said 2 sentences. It said, we have some resources. If you don't know who else to call, we got resources for you down below. Don't be sad. We got resources. That's all they're saying. The fact of the matter is, there is kids that feel like they're trans. There is kids that feel lonely and isolated and don't know what to do because they feel like they're trans. There is kids that have parents that they don't feel comfortable sharing this information with due to fear of rejection, due to fear of being kicked out of their house. Having these resources available could potentially save kids. That's the tea. Don't want to get too serious. I'm trying to keep it funny and light here, but why are you so mad about giving kids resources to, you know, be safe? And then finally, the end of the little trans section of this book says, if you're transgender or non-binary, loving your body might feel a bit different than it does for a cisgender person. Parts of your body might make you feel uncomfortable, and you might want to change the way you look. That's totally okay. You can appreciate your body for everything it allows you to experience and still want to change certain things about it. When you're feeling out of place in your body, do things that make your body feel more like home, like dressing in your favorite clothes and doing something you love. Celebrate the good feelings you have in your body right now. Remember, you deserve love and respect no matter what your body looks like or how it changes. I wish I knew American Girl doll had books when I was a little trans girl. It's so cute. They're like, we understand you might be uncomfortable, we get it, but you're still great, you're still you, and focus on loving the parts of you that you do love. That's a great message for anybody, not just trans kids. I know what you're thinking. I do, I'm a mind reader. Who could read that cute little American Girl doll trans-inclusive book and be upset? The transphobes. That too. That's monstrous. That is so awful. Introducing sex and sexuality to children is abuse. They attempt to introduce it to children in areas they're the most vulnerable and impressionable. Start treating the crime for what it is. I was fortunate to take mine to the store so she could view and pick her own doll and have lunch. I told you it would come in. I called it. Did I not call it? I already know what the people are going to say, what the transphobes are going to say. Oh, you're sexualizing the kids. You are making everything sexual and they're 10 and 11. I knew that they were going to go ahead and claim that they're sexualizing the children. They're introducing sex and sexualizing the children. Transphobes do know that there's more than one definition for sex, right? I don't think they know. So disappointed in a brand my daughters and eventually my future grandchildren could have enjoyed. But you've decided to go woke and encourage young girls to use drugs to alter who they were created to be. Beyond disappointed and upsetting. Because when medical intervention comes in for trans kids, it's a medical issue. It's a medical concern at that point, right? So let's compare it to another medical treatment, say for a kid with diabetes. Imagine American Girl doll talked about, you know, having blood sugar monitor or something like that, and people were commenting, I am so disappointed. You're encouraging girls to use drugs. It's insulin. These drugs that you're talking about for trans kids, these hormone blockers, are medicine for transgender children. So glad this came to light before I spent $250 on the new doll my daughter wanted for her birthday. Not getting another dollar from me. Your daughter's gonna be pissed, girl. We own What, girl? We own 6 American Girl dolls. So we've spent a pretty penny with y'all over the years between dolls and accessories for 3 daughters. Your new book went way too far. Girl, you bought 6 American Girl dolls? 6? Aren't these shits like hundreds of dollars? Yeah, you said yourself, $250 on the new doll. You spent money, honey. They got your paycheck, girl. They don't need you to buy another doll. They're good. Never again will I buy your products. pushing gender reassignment? Are you serious? You serious, man? When was gender reassignment pushed? Whoever made that decision in your company should be fired. You should have continued to make beautiful dolls to play with. I love that they're all complaining about the beautiful dolls, and dolls is like a term for trans girls. We're the beautiful dolls that you're upset about, huh, girl? There's also these people who are upset.
So you want people to stop buying American Girls and all the stuff, the accessories that you can buy as well. I took my 6-year-old to the store in Rockefeller Center, like the American Girl experience. And, you know, typically girls that are into American Girls, they get a doll that looks like them, and you can get an outfit that, you know, so you can match your doll. We were in there, and my daughter's just a cute little 6-year-old white girl. We couldn't find anybody that looked like my daughter. It was, the whole place, it was like wokeified. It was kind of a bizarre experience. How long has this been going on with American Girl?
I think it was in the early 2000s that they sort of changed their brand to girl empowerment, which you know isn't necessarily a bad thing, but
yeah.
but it's politicized, you know, this girl empowerment idea. So I think that this particular step with this book is a new leap that they've taken, because it is so insane to be telling little girls to change their bodies, because that is not body empowerment or girl empowerment. That's self-loathing.
They said the whole brand has gone woke. They got rid of all the white dolls, as they're showing white dolls in the background. Their editor did them so dirty, girl. The one dude is complaining about how there's no more white American Girl dolls, which, first of all, I found this screenshot. This is like the top 6 dolls they sell or something like that. They're all white. Come again, sir. And this other woman, I don't know who she is. I don't really care who she is. She's saying that they're pushing gender ideology on these young kids, and they're teaching them to change their bodies and to hate their bodies, blah, blah, blah. Did you read the book, girl? How are you gonna take a book that is telling kids to love themselves and to be okay with themselves and to focus on the parts that they love about themselves, and take that and twist it into, they're teaching everyone to hate themselves. They're teaching self-loathing. This person said the American Girl doll company has a book that promotes puberty blockers and encourages hiding gender identity from parents. Protect the children from leftists. The spooky leftists. I'm under your bed, girl. I find these comments the most, not even, I was gonna say like the most upsetting, the most surprising. It's all the same at this point. It's not the most anything. It's just boring. These people are so boring. They want the hide. The American Girl doll thinks that kids shouldn't talk to their parents, and they teaches them to go behind their parents' back. It's clearly you are not a fan of the series. Otherwise, you would be familiar with the edition titled Understanding Families. You would know that they have multiple pages talking about how to build closer bonds with your parents and how to build trust with your parents. It literally says, more than anything, your parents just want to keep you safe. There's a page titled How to Talk to Your Parents About Anything. It says, some problems are big. Sometimes you need advice. Maybe something big has happened, but when it comes to talking to a parent about it, you don't know where to start. Literally, I'm not gonna read this book. You can go find it online, but I'm just saying that if they really wanted to teach young kids how to go around their parents' backs, you think they'd have a whole book with chapters on how to talk to your parents about anything? I beat you at your own game. I know the American Girl doll series better than you do. Finally, after all these tweets and all this backlash, American Girl doll said something. They had a response for us. They said, we value the views and feedback of our customers and acknowledge the perspectives on this issue. We understand, girl. We get it. They said the content in this book, geared for kids 10 plus, was developed in partnership with medical and adolescent care professionals and consistently emphasizes the importance of having conversations and discussing any feelings with parents or trusted adults. Zip it. Keep it to yourself. They say, we talk to the professionals. We don't know what you're talking about. As they should. That's what I would say too if I was American Girl doll. But yeah, you guys, that is going to be it for today's video. I love filming videos like this. I think they're so funny. I just love laughing at transphobes. Like, what better thing is there? Like, I'll wait, especially when it's corporations and large companies that kind of participate in it. Of course, they're not trolling or anything like that, but they're putting their foot down and saying, this is what we believe, this is how it's gonna be, and we don't care. I think that that's great. Bravo, American Girl doll. I'm not buying a doll though. That's hella expensive. I'm not doing it. But okay, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up down below. Go ahead, go ahead. I post new videos twice a week here on my channel, so make sure to subscribe if you're not already and you would like to be. But yeah, other than that, I think I'm going to go. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, everyone.